Hello, sports fans. Welcome back to VIP SportsNet with Mike Dugan and Jim Sproul. Today we'll be previewing the AFC East. Mike, who do you have in the fourth place position here?
I have the Miami Dolphins.
Imagine that.
We got the good, bad, and ugly of the Miami Dolphins this year. I'm only predicting them to win two games.
You said good? No, I want to see. I want to hear this.
Well, you get to go to Miami, so that's the good part. The bad part is just watching them be playing on the field this year. I mean, they got two quarterbacks that are very iffy.
Yes.
I mean, I'm looking at their depth chart. I've never seen a team have 4 running backs, 4 tight ends, and only 5 receivers. I mean, I don't know what they're thinking out there.
I don't either.
Fitzpatrick, man, he threw for, 2,000 yards, and Fitzpatrick threw for 66 yards, 17 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, but his QBR was only 61%.
There's a reason for that. He's not very good.
Yes. I know you got the Dolphins probably.
I've got them in fourth place. You know, they were 31st in offense, the 29th in defense.
Jim, how many teams are in the NFL?
Yeah, 32, right? They're the second to worst on offense. I mean, look what they've just done here. Look who all's just gone. They lost Tannehill, Danny Amendola, Frank Gore, Juwan James, Cameron Wake, Robert Quinn, Ndamukong Suh, T.J. McDonald, Kenny Stills, Amir Spence, Laramie Tunsil. I mean, who's left on this team, man? I mean, who are these guys? They are, I tell you what, if you're a rookie, that's the team you want to be on because there's nobody there to beat you out. I mean, you're going to get a fair shake because these guys you're going to definitely need a program if you go to one of their games to figure out who these guys are because they're all new.
Yes. Well, Jim, my second pick, I get the Buffalo Bills.
I did too. I put them third too.
I have them 5-11 going this year. Josh Allen, I'm really hoping for great things coming out of him. Throwing for over 2,000 yards, and he ran for 631.
Yeah, 2,000 yards ain't bad if it's 1975, but unfortunately, it's not.
I mean, for 10 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. I mean, there's some improvement, but, hopefully he had it, a year under his belt. You see how he does. You realize he averaged 52 yards a game rushing? He had 8 rushing TDs. I mean, if you're looking for a strength on their offense, it's his legs, not his arm. I mean, their offense was 30th in the league, man. I mean, that is dreadful. But they're good for them. I mean, they had the second best overall defense in the NFL. Yeah,
these boys, they're hard to score on. They're hard to move the ball on.
But they also brought in Frank Gore.
How old's he? Didn't he play with Gale Sayers?
Yeah, in the Niners and some other teams. And
Colts. He is the much-traveled one, yes.
Yeah, but, the thing I saw was when they did that cut date, they cut a lot of players off their roster. They got rid of McCoy. LaShawn McCoy, he got released.
Yeah, he was slipping a little. And when you're carrying a price tag like these guys are carrying, these running backs, especially when they get up around 30, it's you can get a third rounder for, pay them a quarter of what you're paying these guys and get the same production,
So how many wins do you got Buffalo Bills this year?
Ooh, 5 maybe? Because I just don't see the offense, Okay, they brought in Cole Beasley and John Brown to play wide receivers. They bring in T.J. Yeldon. But, secondary's good with, they got that Tre'Davious White. That kid's a beast. And, they brought in Mitch Morse at center and drafted Cody Ford out of Oklahoma. Just trying to get some offensive line for this kid, the quarterback. Because these guys hate getting pressured up the front. So you put Mitch Morse at center, you can stop some of that nonsense coming up the middle. But, yeah, and, one of the things that, it's going to be interesting for them because they brought in Ed Oliver, who I personally think he's a Tommy Harris clone, the kid out of Oklahoma that was a first-round draft pick for Chicago Bears about 15 years ago. So, I just don't see them boys being able to score enough points. I don't see it.
And for Buffalo Bill fans on Thanksgiving, they actually come to Dallas for Thanksgiving, so that'd be a pretty good viewership for that base.
Yeah, they're going to be Thanksgiving Day meal. I mean, they're going to get served up on prime time. But man, I just, I mean, you got the quarterback, you think, but you haven't really done him any favors with, a lot of quality offensive linemen or a great running back or great tight end, all the stuff that young quarterbacks need. They need that tight end to check down on when get the blitz and stuff and running, get the running game so they can do the play action, threat. But this kid, they're going to blast him.
And it also works on how healthy the offensive line is. And, I mean, they're playing in Buffalo. It's not like 80 degrees out there in the winter. It's cold,
And you're not going to make a living in this league if your quarterback's having to rush for 600 yards.
Right.
I mean, I don't care how big you are. They all get hurt when they start carrying the ball. I mean, I guess they think this is Bobby Douglas, excuse me, this is not 1970 anymore. Got to throw the ball down the field.
Yep. Well, guys, we're going to give our last two picks right after this break. Welcome back, sports fans. VIP SportsNet talking about the AFC East. Jim, I have the Jets going 9-7 this year. They definitely improved the running game. The quarterback's coming off of a rookie year. Hopefully he can muster up some more yards, more performance this year. I mean, what do you see?
Man, this team, they were 29th ranked offense, 5th ranked defense, so they're equally inept on both sides of the ball. I mean, you look at, I see what they're trying to do, with the young quarterback, that they went out and they coaxed Ryan Khalil out of retirement, paid him $8 million to come back. Then they traded for Kalichi Osemele from the Oakland. They're trying to just do it smartly so they don't end up with another Andrew Luck, quarterback getting beat to death. And when you're playing the Bills with that rugged defense they have, and they'll get after you, you better have some good offensive linemen here. They went out and they got Le'Veon Bell. They drafted Ty Montgomery at running back. Both of them are good. They went out and got Jamison Crowder. Drafted Quinnen Williams. Some people thought he was the best player in the draft. So they are.
And then on the coaching staff, they got a brand new coach.
Yeah.
And they also got a really good Greg Williams.
Defensive coordinator, man. So, he'll come after you. But their losses, they didn't really have too much, They lost Jermaine Kearse. But their defensive tackles, with the kid, Quinnen Williams and the other kid from USC a couple of years ago, Williams, first-round pick. But they're lacking those pass rushers, those edge rushers. They don't really have that. But, they're going to try to load up and run the ball. I mean, when you paid the money that they paid Le'Veon Bell, you're going to have to use him, and they're going to probably try to run a lot of play action, and just to keep the defenses,
guessing
honest, so they just don't pin their ears back and come and tear this kid Darnold up, So they also brought in C.J. Mosley, so he, good linebacker there, and former Raven linebacker, first round pick, I believe, right?
Yes.
And so they're really trying to build the defense up. They're trying to get their offensive line going. But those two guys, Williams and Williams, that's going to be pretty formidable for people there, man. I mean, because those are premium draft picks, and from all indications, it looks like they hit on both of them. The USC kid is really good. So, well, we'll get to the inevitable.
Yep, I got the Patriots.
That's all that's left is the Patriots.
13-3, 6 Super Bowls. Tom Brady.
Bill
Belichick. What can you say? I mean, they did lose Gronk, but they have Josh Gordon in there. But I'm looking at their depth chart. They have 3 people on the offense. On the offense on the IR, and 2 players suspended. I mean,
who's the player suspended beside Patrick Chung? And will that even affect his play? That cocaine charge?
I know that. Yeah, I know, man. I mean, what can you say about the Patriots? They are always competitive every year. No matter what players come and go, they find a way to win.
Yeah, when I was looking this information up, I was surprised that they had the 21st ranked defense in the NFL last year. The offense was 5th ranked. I'm like, okay, but last year, they really hit on the running back they brought in. I mean, Sony Michel, that was a true revelation of finding that kid. And it looks like they're going to have Edelman back for all 16 games. He caught 74 passes for 850 yards in only 12 games. They got Demarius Thomas. They brought in Ben Watson. They drafted N'Keal Harry, running back Damian Harris. So they just keep adding these guys and guys in that system. And they lost some great guys. Losing Gronk and Trey Flowers. I mean, Trey Flowers I think he pretty much had more pressures than any player in the league last year. And of course their former coach Matt Patricia comes over and absconds with him. And but there's going to be. What's interesting? For the 17 full seasons that Brady and Belichick have been together, they've won 10 games in 16 out of those 17 years. They had full season. I mean. It's just like a machine. It just keeps on going, man.
And they've won 10 consecutive AFC East titles. I mean,
who's gonna rise up and beat them?
last year Kansas City gave them a good shot in the playoffs.
Yeah,
but,
that's an overtime game.
Yeah, and say what you will. They will find a way to win. If you put the ball in Tom Brady's hands. He's proven that over and over, Super Bowls, games.
Yeah, like in the AFC Championship game last year. I knew as soon as it went to overtime and they won the coin flip, this game's over.
Right.
They are winning this game. But, getting back earlier, what you said about the consecutive championships in the AFC East, Ryan had the Jets, knocking at the door a little bit for a few years, but, he never had the quarterback. He never had the offense to get them there. There's really...
And Buffalo was tentatively there for a little bit, a couple seasons, and then they kind of dropped off. And Miami,
But, getting back to this, it all comes down to quarterbacks. Right. Either you have them or you don't. And you look at this AFC East here, you got Josh Rosen, you got Sam Darnold, and then you got Allen.
And then Fitzpatrick.
Well, I'm talking about young quarterbacks. Yeah. Allen, Darnold, and Rosen. Those are 3 high first-round draft picks. And if these guys are, if they're good, that could be the turning point here in the next few years to ending this this reign of terror that the Patriots have been foisting upon these underlings in the AFC East here, man. But it's going to take quarterbacks, and like I said, there's 3 young first-round picks in the division. Mm-hmm. And the best quarterback in the division is a 6th rounder.
You're right. Well, guys, that is our picks for the AFC East. If you guys have a comment, if you think we're wrong or right, please respond on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or leave a message on our podcast platforms. Thank you for you guys tuning in. This is VIP Sportsnet.